Welcome to the British Museum in the Bloomsbury area of London. Its permanent collection of some 8 million works is among the largest and most comprehensive in existence, having been widely collected during the era of the British Empire. This is the Great Court, constructed recently in 2001. It documents the story of human culture from its beginning to the present. It is also the first public national museum in the world, opened in 1753 based on the collections of Irish physician and scientist Sir Hans Sloane. Now, we cannot show all 8 million works as it would take more than one episode. The British Museum houses the largest and most comprehensive collection of ancient Egyptian antiquities. This here is the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone is an inscription tablet of a decree issued in Memphis in 196 BC. The top and middle texts are in ancient Egyptian, using hieroglyphic and demotic scripts respectively, while the bottom is in ancient Greek. It makes the Rosetta Stone key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphs. It is also the most visited object in the British Museum. Queen Ahmose-Meritamun, 1504 BC, was the royal daughter of Ahmose I and became the great royal wife of her younger brother Amenhotep I. And across the section we see the Lamassu from Nimrud in Iraq, a hybrid of a human and a lion. It reminds me of the logo of the Iraqi American Special Forces. The other remarkable objects that I photographed in this section are as follows. Moving on to the Department of Greece, the British Museum has the world's largest collection of antiquities from the classical world, with over 100,000 objects, dating from the beginning of the Greek Bronze Age to the establishment of Christianity. Here we have a statue of the Greek god Apollo, or simply an athlete, we're not really sure. He is from the 1st century AD. Moving on, we have the Nereid monument from ancient Turkey, and the Parthenon marbles, also known as the Aline marbles, from 447 BC. This guy here is Apollo of Cyrene, a colossal Roman statue of Apollo from the 2nd century BCE. These wonderful artifacts from the ancient Greek Empire were unearthed at around 1861. Some other noteworthy objects from ancient Greece that I photographed are as follows. Moving swiftly on, we are going to the upper floors of the British Museum, to the Department of the Middle East. With a collection numbering about 330,000 works, the British Museum again possesses the world's largest and most important collections of Mesopotamian and ancient Middle Eastern antiquities, from Nineveh, Nimrod, Khorsabad, and all across Iran and the Middle East. Henut Mehet was a Theban priestess of ancient Egypt who lived in 1250 BC. Her gold coffins can be seen here. The excessive use of gold shows that she was a very wealthy woman indeed. These mummies have been lying like this well preserved for more than 4,000 years, unlike the visitors of the British Museum who are very active. Here we reach Jebel Sahaba, a violent death. Two adult men were buried together here about 13,000 years ago. Both died of heavy inflicted wounds to the head. This was possibly a war cemetery. Moving on, we see the remarkable collections from the ancient Middle East, collected from Egypt, Sudan, Turkey, Iraq, Iran, and Israel. Some other noteworthy objects that I photographed are as follows. Ancient Iran, one of my favorite periods, found by Cyrus the Great. The first Persian Empire lasted from 550 BC till 330 BC. Babylon was the capital. They were experts in tool and weapon making and farming. Fine examples of ancient Persian architecture can be seen here. Utensils, tools, and gold ornaments. They were masters in warfare and agriculture. Speaking of which, farming began in the Middle East about 12,000 years ago, and slowly it spread to Europe, and through Europe it came to Britain 6,000 years ago. Before farming, we were hunter-gatherers, using all these extensive tools. And after farming, again tools came into the picture, like pistols, mortars, and other tools for agriculture. And with farming, standards of life began to improve, trade began to grow, tools and ornaments began to flourish. And when wealth and well-being grew, people started to develop newer tools for a different kind of purpose: waging war. Extensive and ingenious weapons were created by our ancestors in ancient Europe and Britain, waging war for every possible reason, resulting in this. Here we see a very well-connected man from 4,500 years ago, buried in eastern England. He was very wealthy, and his grave goods contained materials from all across Europe. He was well connected in the sense that he had great contacts as well as a well-joined skeletal system. The Department of Britain and Europe is responsible for collections over a vast period of time and geography. Some of the objects here date over 2 million years ago. The extensive and mighty weapons of war that you see here are from Britannic, Germanic, Slavic, and Viking eras. As I look around the incredible collections of the British Museum, I can't help but wonder, what is the real treasure here? The real treasure does not consist of the gold or ornaments here. The real treasure is what you see around you, the preservation of history, and that too is the success of the British Museum. Speaking of treasures, here is a literal one, composed of Roman gold from the 1st century AD. After marveling at the Alton treasure, I went on to collect some wonderful artifacts. Roman Britain from 43 to 410 AD. Needless to say, the Romans made Britain what it is now, even influenced our language heavily. Here we have a British Roman legionnaire soldier, and here are some Latin scripts. The English alphabet we use and enjoy today came from Latin. The Romans even established the city we are in now. With Roman gold and trade, they established the small town of Londonium in 47 AD on the banks of the River Thames. A major trading port it was to be, and it stays the same till this very date. Everything was traded here, from tools, pottery, gold, and that brought in immense wealth to the residents of Londonium and Britannia. Londonium quickly became the center of trade, commerce, art, and literature, and before long, the second capital of Julius Caesar's Roman Empire. The objects you see here are from anywhere between 2nd century BC to 7th century AD. Some of the other remarkable things that I photographed are as follows. Christianity came to Britain in 323 AD through the Roman Empire. Ideas from the New and Old Testaments, gilded artifacts and objects from churches, parchments and extracts from the Bible, and everything even remotely related to Christianity and Judaism spread from the Middle East all across Europe and Britain, making Britannia and Londonium its capital, a Christian bastion, bringing wealth and international trade to even greater heights. This is the sword of State of England. Notice the cross on the hilt and the English crest on the handle. It was made around 1473. Half of it was made in England and the other half in Germany. Moving swiftly on from the sword of state, we came across this statue, the Muse of Comedy Thalia. She is a Roman statue. Her head is ancient, but the body is relatively new. Now we have arrived at Clockland, as I wish to call it. Clocks and timepieces from 500 and 600 years ago from all across the continent, especially Britain, are presented here. Clocks for the home, clocks for the institutions, and clocks for all sorts of industries, from all sorts of mechanisms, from very old primitive systems to the modern day quartz. As the sands of time burn in the British Museum, so do the dials of these pocket watches from over 200 years ago. Extremely strange and unique clocks, like this one with a counterbalance, are displayed here. Many people marvel at these objects for hours. Along with grandfather clocks from all kinds of woods in the world, with dials made of gold and silver. Every imaginable timepiece can be found here if you look close enough. Among them, perhaps the most attractive and the strangest of all, the mechanical ship clock made of solid gold, made in 1585 in Germany. The dial can be seen here near the captain. After that one-of-a-kind experience, walking down the steps of the British Museum, I couldn't help but wonder about the controversy surrounding these artifacts. Many countries have claimed that Britain stole these things from them. I disagree. Britain colonized these countries, and Britain deserves to own these artifacts. Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. Thank you very much for watching.